Very good morning to the viewers of the international webinar series organized by the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, MeitY, a NAC accredited deemed to be university. The university organizes international webinar series by its Center of Excellence, Center for Informatics Development, Solutions and Applications, CIDSA, on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. I welcome all the participants from India and abroad for this very important talk today by a distinguished technocrat of Government of India, Madam Alka Mishra, Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center. Today, the open source digital technology towards a self-reliant India is announced by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovations, and based on 5 pillars, namely economy. We would like to have a quantum jump in the Indian economy and not incremental. This will be possible through infrastructure, which represents modern India, systems, which adopts 21st century technology and driven, vibrant demography, the source of energy for self-reliant India, and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. This mission was announced on 15th May 2020 through a special and comprehensive economic package of rupees 20 lakh crore that accounts for 10% of India's GDP to bring the economy back on track. This also facilitates vocal for local to make it global, a demand-based economy system which is self-producing and self-consuming. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and robust supply chains. This is our intent. Open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India. There has been always a discussion on open technology versus open source technology. There have been 6 open source technologies that have changed. Open source technology has dramatically altered the world around us. Linux. 90% of the world's fastest supercomputer are Linux based. Android. 84.82% of smartphones worldwide run on the Android operating system. Map overlay and statistical system, MOSS, developed by the United States of Department of Interior in 1978, and nearly all systems built since then, from GPS to location services. WordPress, Firebox, LifeRay, and these are all the 6 open source technology which has changed the whole world. The top emerging open source technology, as per Dr. Anand Nair, it is open source in machine learning, the R programming language, emerging trends in blockchain and Bitcoin, open source and Internet of Things IoT, open source and big data analytics, progressive web apps, open source and cyber security, open source and virtual reality, open source and augmented reality, and open source and mixed reality. and now extended reality, open source and cloud computing. The top 5 digital trends of 2020, according to Deepthi Dilip: distributed and multi-cloud computing, 5G data, extended reality, hyper automation, and voice user interface. The Center for Informatics and Development Solutions and Applications so far have conducted 4 international webinars on open technology, namely open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, which was held on 12th September 2020, addressed by Dr. B. Balasubramanian, former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, and Head, NIC Open Technology Center, Chennai. Second one was on 18th September 2020, a roadmap for students using FAST, free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. This was delivered by Dr. B.K. Mishra. Third was on 25th September 2020 by Dr. H.K. Sugas, former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, on open source software and industrial IoTs for small and medium enterprises. And fourth was on free and open source software adoption and business model by Mr. M.R. Rajagopalan, former Director, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Chennai, and Director of National Resource Center on Free and Open Source Software, Chennai, on 3rd October. Today, we are going to have addressed by Madam Alka Mishra, Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, on very important topic, Open Data Platform for Smart Digital Government. The webinar series topic includes open system, open infrastructure, open source software for open infrastructure, open hardware for open infrastructure, open data platform, human resources development, startups in open technology, and how this can bring in open society, that is society 5.0. There are industry 4.0, pharma 4.0, and technology 4.0. All these technology driven initiatives will be successful, will bring results if we adopt open data platform, and that will result in smart digital government, which will usher in results in open governance. To extend this theme, I would like to briefly give the abstracts of the talk today for the benefits of the viewers. Data is oil. The data and oil attain intrinsic value only through refinement process. The open data platform developed by National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in 2012 has laid a foundation to create a repository of government open data and to build a complete ecosystem to facilitate sharing and utilization of government data by public for research, for analysis and innovations, and also built a large scale startups in the country. As of now, as per the published data, there are about 4 lakhs plus data sets published by 173 central and state government entities, facilitated by 355 chief data officers. The open government data platform will be explained by Madam Alka Mishra, in her talk, which is built on the state-of-the-art open tools and stack. And I also would like to briefly mention the ecosystem on which the entire open data platform and open the technology platform revolves around, based on the strong policy guidelines pronounced by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. One such platform, one such policy announcement came notified on 10th February 2017 through its Gazette notification, Open Government Data License of India, to ensure that the data sets released are not misused and misinterpreted, and that all the users have the same and permanent right to use the data. And this talk will focus on open data platform for building smart digital government through various national and international case studies to facilitate the self-reliant in India movement. Madam Alka Mishra is presently working as Deputy Director General, Scientist G at National Informatics Center, Government of India. She heads the following divisions in NIC: Open Government Data Platform, proactive release of datasets by the department in open format. My government is one of the face of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, the single citizen engagement platform of the government. India portal, the national portal of India. It is the face of India. Gov.in domain registration, secure, scalable, and accessible website as a service, a cloud-based static website generating framework for enabling government entities to design, host, and maintain citizen-centric, secure, scalable, multilingual websites that are accessible as per the standards defined in Guidelines for Indian Government Website, GIGW 2.0, based on Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG 2.0. Mrs. Alka Mishra has over 30 years of experience in the field of information communication technology and has vast experience ranging from software design, development, to implementation of ICT projects. She has also worked in the preparation of e-governance plan for government of Laopedia, worked very closely with the US government for the development and implementation of open government data platform, and later implemented for the government of Rwanda and the government of Ghana in Africa. Mrs. Alka Mishra's leadership in identifying the gaps that plagued Indian government website has led to the launch of a framework which has been satisfactorily adopted by over 80% of the Indian districts in more than 90% of the Indian states and union territories in record time of a year, empowering the world's largest democracy to offer citizen-centric, secure, scalable, and accessible multilingual websites. She has published a number of articles, both nationally and internationally, and open data, crowdsourcing, and portals. Madam Alka Mishra, there are a lot of students are also viewing this talk today, and we welcome you, and we would like to have your talk. Over to Madam Alka Mishra.
Thank you, Professor Moni, for giving such a nice welcome, and I was really overwhelmed to learn about the journey taken up by CIDSA towards open technology tools and tech stack. Congratulations really goes to your leadership. At the outset, I would like to thank Center for Informatics Development, Solutions and Applications, Shobhit University of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, for giving me the opportunity today to present open data platform for smart digital government. In fact, I would be more than happy to share my experience with all of you today. And I would just like to add that I have worked very closely with Professor Moni, and he has been instrumental in developing the e-governance, the checkpoints and how to go about bringing e-governance in Lao PTR. He has a vast experience, and from you I learned to move forward. Thank you, sir. I would start with my presentation today. Shall I share my presentation?
Please.
Yeah. Is it visible? Is the presentation visible? Shall I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. As Professor Moni has already explained, Indian government data platform has been totally developed on open source tools and technology. There is nothing proprietary in it. The complete stack is using open source tools, technology, and this is a platform to basically release proactively the data which has been collected by the government at all the levels, be it the center, be it the state or the district. There was a policy which was announced, which is known as National Data Sharing and Accessibility Policy. This was Gazette notified in March 2012. What was the main objective of this policy? It was, we all are aware that the government collects a lot of data. A lot of data are collected by the government for every aspect of its activity, scheme, or program. This data basically lies in silos or in a non accessible format on their website. There was a need, the country felt that there was a need to share this data with everyone, one and all, be it the student community, be it the researcher, be it the government themselves, or the startups, or it could even be those who are studying in engineering colleges to use the data in the way that they would like to use. So it is the data which has been collected from the taxpayers' money. All of us pay tax, and the survey and the data is all collected using our money. So the government has a right to give it back to the citizen, one and all, to use the data for their analysis, for their research, or to develop an application using this data. So it should be available to all in an open format. What do we say open format? Ready to reuse, ready to develop insights using this data and come up with more analytics and research contribution in all the fields, cutting across. Professor Moni said that we have also got some experience working internationally, be it with the US government and later implemented in Africa for Rwanda and Ghana. This was way back in 2011, much before the policy was announced in India, the NDSAP policy. In 2010 and 2011, the National Informatics Center closely collaborated with the US government. And if you see, we came up with a platform where we asked citizens to interact and discover possibilities using the data which is readily available for use. So it was called OpenGov. This was built taking the best practices of india.gov.in of India, which is the national portal of the country, and the US data.gov. Data.gov was developed on a proprietary tools, and so there was a need to have the complete platform on open source tools and technology. We collaborated together and the platform was ready, which was known as data.gov. India had a wide learning while doing this work, but till then we could not use the platform for our purpose, but NDSAP policy helped us later when it came in 2012 to develop our data portal customized to Indian requirement known as data.gov.in, where today you can find over 4 lakh datasets across the government where the data is released for you. You can engage with the data, and as Professor Moni has said, data and all needs further refinement to get better insights, innovative ideas. Data alone will not solve the problem, but the data is required to solve the problem. And the data.gov.in, which was the US version OGPL, looked like this. This is just a snapshot of 2011 when we had the Open Government Data Platform with the US collaboration. The same source was used, the same technology was used to customize it for Rwanda and Ghana. Now, this is how data.gov.in looks like. It has matured a lot from the inception in 2012. And what is the main motive of this portal? The main motive is to create general awareness. There is plethora of data which is available in now usable format. Data was available even earlier, 20 years back, when we had websites of the ministry department. But then it was available in a non-usable format. We had PDF files which could be searched, which could be used for analysis. We couldn't have any metrics from there because they were dump PDF files which were not in open format. So there was a need to churn out these PDF files, use the data which is available in the ministry and departments, and publish it for citizens' use. So we had to build up catalogs, data catalogs, that the search could be easier. Just go to data.gov.in. I know many of you will be having a smartphone in your hand today. So if you search on the key bar, on the search handle of data.gov.in for any data which has been contributed, you will be able to get that data, immediately download it for your use, for your analysis, for your research, for your analytics, for developing an application, be it Android or iOS. The data is available. Tomorrow you can further use this data and do your own research. So an ecosystem was built not within the government, but even with the community. And later, we had many of the developers from the SMEs, startups who had a legal issue, who had a doubt. What if they use government data and they make an application which they are selling for as a commercial product? Can they do that, or will the departments sue them? And then Open Government Data Platform, data.gov.in, was forced to think on the legal part of it, and there came the Open Data License. There was a committee which was headed by Secretary Law, and in that committee, we had members from the industry, from the community, from the startups, from the data.gov.in team, and evangelists who use this data, the government data. And it came to the conclusion, and then it was gazette notified as a license, government license, open data license, which says that if anybody in India or abroad, they add value to the government data, then they are free to commercialize that data and there will be no legal hassles as long as they attribute the source and they acknowledge the source, that the source of the data is, say for instance, Ministry of Health or Ministry of Agriculture. This platform also has a visualization engine and an analytics engine, which is completely built in-house on open source tools and technology, which helps you to get a better perspective of data, not as rows and columns, but as graph with a better perception and better analysis. This is how the data.gov.in looks like today. I'm sure you'll be able to appreciate what was there in 2011 as OGPL has really refined over time, not only in terms of technology, but in terms of user perspective. I mean, we got so much of feedback from students, from developers, from industry, talking that the search needs to be refined, the categorization needs to be refined, and the platform has evolved. We continuously believe that your feedback, your engagement helps in the government to release proactively those data sets. Now, this is the ecosystem which emerged out of the data platform. The ecosystem are largely three. The government, that is the data management, they are the ones who have lots and lots of data. Name the department, whether it is health, whether it is agriculture, whether it is in education, every department has plethora of data. So this needs to be properly categorized, available to the citizens through a workflow with standard metadata that anybody can understand the data, can use the data. It should be available in machine readable format, that is open format, and it should have checks and balances in place with analytics also in place. So this was the government structure which we have developed. The National Informatics Center under Ministry of Electronics and IT has developed the platform. The platform alone does nothing if we don't have a user base. So you as the citizen, whether it is the student community, whether it is the industry, MSME, researcher, academia, or government themselves, they can very easily search and discover any data which has been published by the government entity, and they can use it because the data is available in open format and there is a lot of citizen engagement component also built in, whether it is to rate a data set or to share it in social media. Not only that, if you are looking for a data which is not available on the platform, you could suggest that you need to get this data released by the government. What we do as a team is that once we get above 50 endorsements, that means more than 50 times this has been requested, this data set, we directly send this request to the government department requesting them to release the data sets. And believe me, 80% of such requests have been closed. It's not that the government doesn't want to release the data, but at times the government doesn't know what the citizen is really looking at, because we are focusing ourselves to deliver as per our mandate and our objective, which might be very different from what you are wanting. So once you raise a demand, and I realize that the demand is for the release of, say, mandi prices and not release of where the markets are situated, I, as a department, will release the data if it is available. So the loop gets closed. Now, this data, which is available on data.gov.in, can be downloaded, can be taken as an API if you are a developer community, if you are a student and you want to use the data for developing an app, you can take it for, I mean, by default through API. You can use the visualization engines and you can have good, smart infographics which can be downloaded again in your own reports, and you can consume the data through web services also. These were the two potential ecosystems which emerged. And over the time, in the last 4 5 years, a community was built up. A community was built up with, which had ideas, which could discuss, which could give us feedback on the type of data which has been released. And this helped in improving the quality of the data released by the government. This just gives a broad graphical representation of the technology behind. I will not go into the details. You could connect with me one to one if you want to know about the tools and technology which has used, and it is completely on open source tools and technology. No proprietary licenses required, no proprietary tools have been built in, and the complete thing is scalable, robust, available 24/7. You can download the data anytime. And then we have got a visualization engine, as I told you. We have a very, very strong module, which is the community.data.gov.in, where we have active participation from the community. The community could be any community, be it a researcher, be it a student. They are using the data, writing blogs, they're creating visualizations, putting it back on the portal for people to see. So we have an active contribution by the community. Then we have an exclusive section which is called event.data.gov.in. This has been a byproduct, and believe me, this has been one of the best module where all the hackathons, I will go into details, that when we engage with citizens, when we engage with the developers or the startups or a student to come and see what data is there and to develop applications, it is all hosted through this event.data.gov.in. You could go to this site and see for yourself what all can be done. Over the time, we have even given this software as a service to other open data initiatives of the country, be it the state, be it a municipality like surat.data.gov.in, or even the smart cities, which is smartcities.data.gov.in. The same tool, technology, code base has been used and offered to them to have their own instances. And as Professor Moni has just said, he has really, really gone through our platform to have given a very good bird's eye view that we have over 4 lakh data sets which are available for you to engage with and derive innovative value out of this government data. It has been contributed by the departments. We are just the technology providers, and the departments contribute the data through a workflow with all validations, checks, and balances in place for you to view, download, and use the data. Now, this is just to tell you that since NIC has come up with the GIGW guidelines, GIGW 2.0 guidelines, we very firmly feel that any portal, if it needs to reach out to people, need to be completely responsive. Whether you watch it or you see it or you search for it, some data on a laptop or a desktop or an iPad or a phone, cross browser. That means whether you're using Chrome or you're using Internet Explorer or you're using Microsoft Edge, it should be all responsive and available to you so that your quest for data request, your quest for searching a data is not lost. So it is completely responsive design, cross browser, available 24/7, and it is compliant with GIGW, already certified by STQC. The journey so far, just to give you a top level view, that we have over 4 lakh datasets contributed very actively by chief data officers. Now you will be thinking, who are they? Each department has nominated senior officer who is known as chief data officer, because they are responsible for sharing the data of their department, and only confidential data or data which talks of the national security come under negative list, which don't have to be shared. The rest fall all under the positive list. So these data sets are shared by the chief data officers, and we have over 8,500 plus catalogs. That means well categorized catalogs for you to search the data, and they are even shared through API for you to consume the data. Now we have even provided a widget. What happens is, if there is agriculture sector data which has been contributed not only by Ministry of Agriculture at New Delhi, but even contributed by, say, Surat, or it has been contributed by Tamil Nadu, then what we do from the back end, from the technology side, we have pulled all agriculture data and we are providing it as a snippet. So if anybody wants agriculture based data, they just have to copy this widget to link the dataset in their own website. In the code is available with a click of the button. You take the code, embed it in your website, and in one shot, you will have live agricultural data which is being contributed across the country, pulled out from the source data.gov.in. In order to do so, we had to have a number of capacity building, continuous engagement with the ministry department, and the team is doing a good job in seeing that they can understand and appreciate that why the data needs to be released for people's use, which benefits even the government. We have an indicator dashboard. By refining this data, which was available, to get more better perspective about their, the schemes, how they are doing, how they are progressing. So there is an indicator dashboard for 10, 11 sectors. You can go down to data.gov.in and see, and to safeguard the use of data and to put commercial value to this data, we have got the license, which is the government open data license also. This is Gazette notified. You can see these are some of the continuous engagement which is needed at the department level to, it's not that the departments don't want to share the data sets. They very well want to share the data sets, but that becomes a secondary job. This is not their main primary focus or their objective. So these workshops, training, sensitizations of the chief data officers across the country, where we have stakeholders from the community, we have people from the industry, they are able to then appreciate that yes, even if releasing of data set is their additional responsibility, it is a very, very important responsibility, and they help them in publishing the data sets for the community engagement. Now, no, we all understand that any good work which is taken up by a department or by a citizen does wonders if they are motivated. So we came up with data champions as one of the category of awards in the Digital India Awards ceremony. So what does this do? This acknowledges the departments, those who contribute rich data sets, those who contribute regularly to the data sets, not that they've contributed 1 year and for the last 3 years there is no contribution, and those who actively believe that the data which they are hoarding or having in their files and their websites should be open in an open format for everybody to use needs to be appreciated. So these are the departments who have been awarded: MSME, Ministry of Agriculture. Again, I think the credit goes to Professor Moni in this because of the project that he had done. He had initiated EggMarkNet. The complete EggMarkNet data is now available through API on data.gov.in. Now, I would just like to explain, EggMarkNet was there even 15 years back. But what was the advantage of having this data on data.gov.in? A very simple example which all of you would then be able to appreciate. When we go to the portal EggMarkNet, you will have to actually select a particular state, go to that particular district, go to that particular mandi, look for the particular commodity price, and then you will be able to get the price. It was all there, available live. Today's price was available tonight on the portal for anybody to see what was the price of a commodity in an existing market. But then, if there is an entrepreneur, and there is an entrepreneur who used this market prices to come up with an app, I must tell you this is one of the best app, and you can see it on the Google Play Store, on the iOS Play Store, which is called Virtual Mandi. What happened is all this data was available on data.gov.in through API. So one doesn't have to drill down to get one particular information. One can just use the smartphone and say, this is my geolocation, and could I get the price of onion within my 5 kilometers? So he had all the market prices which was there within 5 kilometers. They were geotagged, and with that he could see that Mandi A, the price was 30 rupees per kilo. Mandi B, the price was 29 rupees. Mandi C, the price was so and so. And he could choose where to sell his onion. So he was able to get the best price within 5 kilometers that he could travel. This was possible only when the data was available in open. The data was available through API for people to analyze rather than available on the portal by drilling down to particular mandi and get the price. It was, he could mash and combine data sets from one mandi, another mandi, one commodity, another commodity, and he could come up with an app which just used the same data from EggMarkNet, but was more, it had added value, and it has become now a commercial app which he is charging people, maybe Reliance Fresh, maybe markets like that, Big Basket, to use his app, and he was able to do it using the OGPL license. So these are some examples of data which was available with the government. If it is released in an open format, could be made better use of. Now, this is completely machine readable. All the data sets are completely machine readable. You don't need any tools. You don't need any technology. You can just download the data and use the data as it is. You can even get the APIs directly for making your applications. And now, in the last 2 years, we have done away of uploading data from the departments in an open format, CSV or Excel. We have started saying from your application, like EggMarkNet is an application which is there, well established, depending on the maturity of the department. Like in the same way, the air quality index, the IMD data, the application is there. So from the application, give us API. That means seamless, continuous data with no manual intervention, and I consume it and give you as an API. So this is one-time arrangement from the all e-governance applications of sharing data on the platform, the central platform. And we have provided auto convert if any data on this platform is available in one format and you for your research or for your development you need it in the other format. You can just click in which format you want to export the data, and with the click of the button you will be able to get the data in that format. So these are the ways in which technology can play to use to give you the data, the same data which the government was having, to make you consume it in the way you want. And with each data, the ownership is attached. You can see on the left hand side who has contributed the data, which department, his mail ID, his phone number, everything is provided. And let me tell you, once we open this data for public, many of the data quality also improves. We should take the feedback from our citizens as positive feedback, and in case there is a typo error or there is a problem in a data, it gets reported directly to that department, to the chief data officer through the platform, and they are able to pull that data down and once again share it in the right format. It has got the complete standard metadata, which is actually required for cross platform integration and for usage by anybody. So the standard metadata is used, which is based on the international Dublin code, and it's not a very exhaustive list which has to be given or contributed by the department. Is just a 15 attributes. Half of them are dropped down. When they want to release the data sets, they just have to fill this. It's completely user friendly. When I say user friendly, in 2012, we got a lot of feedback that the search is not good. We need to have more classifications of search, be it through a ministry, department, API, non-API data, format of the data, or sector. Now, see, I understand that agriculture data belongs to, no, I will take a better example. Like, I understand that a police data actually belongs to Ministry of Home Affairs. But as a citizen, we do not know that police data belongs to Ministry of Home Affairs. So he will never search Ministry of Home data to get the crime data. He will never search for Ministry of Home Affairs to get, suppose he's buying a house and he wants to know how safe is the city, so what is the crime rate. He is not going to go to Ministry of Home Affairs to get the crime data of a city. Definitely no. So there was a requirement to come up with sector-specific search also. Why trace to the government department, Ministry of Home Affairs, if I'm looking for crime data? So I can just search for crime, I can just search for police, and I should get all related data set. So the search has been improved, and you will be able to get any any data set that you're looking for, there are n number of filters. Now, in case you face a problem when you're browsing through data.gov.in, I will be more than happy if you share your feedback so we could further develop and improve the tool and the platform. There is a social media connect. Now, in today's world, everybody seems to be sharing data, sharing stories, sharing infographics. So all those connectors have been built in. You can share a particular page, you can share a particular data set, you can share the complete catalog through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So those connectors are also available for you. I have already talked about link to us. This helps you to just take the code if you want educational data on your website. If say CIDSA wants all educational data, open data which has been contributed, so there is a code for it. You just, and there are a customized banner available depending where they would want to place it on their website. They can choose the banner size, they can pick the code snippet, put it in their own HTML page, and the data will start coming of all the educational data will start appearing on their website. Now, just to have a positive way of competition, the matrix is also available of the data contributed by the departments, and there is some analysis that what type of data is there, which department is contributing how much, and how many times the data has been downloaded, how many times the data has been viewed, is this available through is an app developed around this data. All that is available in the matrix section of data.gov.in. And you will have the complete chief data officer's details also, not only the name but the email ID, the phone number, everything is there. If you need to connect to them, you can do so directly. And as I said, we have even sector classification of the data, because for us as a citizen, if we are not in government, the perspective of viewing data is different. It is either it is agriculture data or finance data or housing data, or it could be technology data, and we do not understand it belongs to which ministry. So the sectoral tagging of the data is also available, which helps in a citizen to search for what they are looking for. And we even have jurisdiction wise, like suppose you want a particular data, say I belong to the state Bihar and I'm interested in getting all the data with regard to Bihar because I want to set up an industry there, say for instance. So I can even go to the jurisdiction Bihar and get all the data which is available. So I will know what are the like resources which are available. I can know what is the crime rate, so that I can understand where I can put my industry or I can set up a small startup. So it helps in my planning if I get that particular data. The complete data information, which is captured basically, is the title, the contributor, the keywords, to which sector it belongs, who is the chief data officer, and the method to share it on social media, to rate the data set, and to ask for more if you did not get what is not there. And these are the things, these are the attributes which are, and the size of the data, and even the granularity. Suppose you're looking for panchayat level data, but you can see that it is aggregated at the district level. So you will not waste your time going deeper down in that data set because you needed panchayat level data. So the granularity of the data also you can see even before you download or engage with that particular data. It's all available. The indicator dashboards are there. These are the indicator dashboard with respect to SDG goals. And we have, as I had told you, a very robust visualization engine, which is again built on open source tools and technology, which helps you to give a better perspective of the data, not only as rows and columns, but as graphs, pie charts, line chart, giving you a better understanding and perspective. Even in the COVID-19 situation, we have got real-time data, again, real-time data sourced from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The real-time data is very important, and we have got around 1 lakh data sets which are coming real-time from the departments with no manual intervention and no lag. Now, we very well understood after running this platform for 3 to 4 years that the main use of putting the data in open only happens if we have stakeholders engagement. You, the people in the colleges, the people at the field, the people in research organizations, the industry needs to engage with the data. So we hold a lot of stakeholders engagement at colleges, data meet, where we talk to them that this is the data which is available, is readily available. Go through it, engage with the data, ask for more if it is not there, and if it meets your requirement, use it to develop either apps, or use it to develop infographics, or use it to come up with some analysis, make an application like I told you, the agriculture application, and he has really improved over the years. Initially, it was only Android based. Now he has got on iOS, and he's become a big entrepreneur somewhere in South. And not only that, now he is giving in local languages. So technology facilitates and cuts the barrier and reached in the local language. He is making graphical interpretation so that if somebody cannot read chili in English, can see the chili, the picture, and understand that it is the chili price of the market. These are some of the hackathons which we did, and because of the community engagement, we were able to get wonderful applications. There are some of the applications which are listed. There were many, many such applications which have come actually as a byproduct. It has come as a spin off of the data which the government is releasing for people like you who have the sky is the limit to think, to use, to engage, and develop applications which are being used by the departments for analysis, for prediction, and for even on commercial value. Now, these are some of the community. Again, we have not developed it. This is you who have developed using this data, with coming out with beautiful infographics, and you can put it in your data journalism, you can put it in paper if you're coming out with a data story, you can put it in your report if you're taking out a report. Engage with the government data available to you because it has been collected from your taxpayers' money. Come out with your perception and give a different paradigm to this data. These are some of the wonderful infographics. They have got some award in some of the contests that we have held. And again, government doesn't lose much. It's a small token of appreciation for you to engage and for you to feel motivated and do a much better job using the government data. The license, as we all told you, even Professor Moni had mentioned, after the data being used for all these activities, there was a need to come out with an open data license which says, can one engage with the government data to come out with some commercial value add applications using this data? Yes, you can legally use this government data if you're adding value over it, if you're developing into an application, if you've put up some technology behind it to come out with some analytics, and you are free to commercialize using this government data. I've already mentioned that there was a need not only to have one Indian government data platform, but offer it as an open data initiative to different institutions, be it the smart city or be it the state portal. So we were able to do so, leveraging our technology, leveraging the resources, and having a different look and feel with different functionalities for the smart city portal and for the state portals. Very few states have come on board, around 6, 7 of them. Tamil Nadu is one, Orissa is another. Then we have Kerala, Punjab, Sikkim, and even Surat has come up with their own data platform. Now, we have a robust visualization engine, and I would just like to add here, you don't have to use the data on data.gov.in alone to use our visualization engine. If you have your own data, suppose you're doing some research or you're coming out with some paper, then you have your data. You can use the same data. You can import your data into this visualization engine, and it has a complete widget which allows you to use the data, cut, copy, paste your data, put it in CSV, and it runs you through the complete widget and helps you to come out with your own tabular format of visualization. You can choose the type of visualization you want, whether it is a chart, graph, pie, multidimensional. You can select all of it, and the moment your data is ready, you can download it completely using this tool, and you can place it in your own reports. And if you want to contribute it back to the platform in the community section, we will be more than happy to have it from you in our community section. So if you see, the search has been enhanced so well that if you look for a particular data, you not only get that data, but you get all the associated infographics and visualization around that data. So that also comes in one column. Now, coming to what more can be done. Data needs refinement, and after data is refined, you can use it in different perspective in to get a different look. You can slice and dice a particular data for more analysis. The platform is ready. We have over 4 lakh data sets, and across the country, right, even up to the district level data is there. And over this data, you can have your own analytics tool. Could be a proprietary tool, could be the tool which is already available, could be any BI tool, any data mining tool. The technology helps in integrating with that data through an API and facilitates you to do a data modeling over this data which is available. Just to capture what has been talked so far, and then I will open it up for your questions. The platform is available. The nodal officers from the departments are there. There are around 350 chief data officers who are available for you to interact with if you feel that the data needs some clarification, and they are the ones who specify what data can go, what data cannot go on this platform. And then we have an API exchange to give you the data through API for you to use it seamlessly. By default, data pool is available, visualization engine is there, and any analytics engine can be built over it. So together, the main thing is together we can discover possibilities. Together we can walk that extra mile and discover the possibilities and do wonders using the government data which has been collected using our money. So add more value, refine, churn the data, and get different perspectives and different analysis. Use it, sky is the limit. And you could connect with us By any of the ways means whether it is Twitter, Facebook, or even mail. My personal mail ID I have already shared. You could even get back to me if need arises by writing to me at amishra@nic.in. Thank you for your patient hearing, and I would now take up questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Alka Mishra. And it is a very insightful and professorial address to the participants of both India and abroad, and in particular the student community who are participating. And I think we have not received any questions so far, and I'm very happy that you have displayed your email address, and those who are interested to ask queries, they can always address to you or to the university, and we will, as you very rightly said it, that together let us discover possibilities. That is more important. And as I'm very much overwhelmed to listen to your talk. And even though we have worked for more than 2.5 decades together, and now I'm out of service, for the last 7 years, but the development which has taken place between 2013 and 2020 today, it's enormous. And starting with the open data government platform way back in 2010, 11, and 2012, and with the Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, the open data platform is one of the pathway for leading to society 4.0, industry 4.0, pharma 4.0, village 4.0, district 4.0, block 4.0, state 4.0, India 4.0, and society 5.0. So this is some of the things that it is a strong foundation. I also would like to give that today, the data-driven economy. It is, you rightly said it in your synopsis, that data is oil. And 5 days there, including Prime Minister and all the panel members, they talked about artificial intelligence and data. And it's very rightly, it's time, it's need of the hour that the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology and its a center of excellence, a center for informatics, development solutions and application, is in a position to invite you and also have your address on the very important topic, open data platform for smart digital government. Now, you have provided the opportunity and the infrastructure and the ecosystem for every government official, be it a lower division clerk, be it a desk officer, be it a technical officer, be it a scientist, be it a, technocrat or a bureaucrat, whatever level from lowest rank of the government to the highermost senior officer of the government and the politicians, and the, almost all verticals of the government, be it judiciary, be it executive, be it legislative, be it the, media, you have covered the importance of the data platform, which the government of India has created as an ecosystem. And either you use the government data or you bring your own data and use this infrastructure and get the visualization made in 22 languages constitute, constitutionally, recognized languages of Government of India. Madam, from the university, from on my behalf, and and also in addition to that, as your previous boss and colleague worked with you, and from my bottom of the heart, I thank you for your knowledge, your communication capability, and your addressing with the relevant points, and it has really driven everybody to get into the data, analytics in a very big manner. Artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and cloud computing will be successful if appropriate data is there. And this data platform is available available with the data available up to the district level, but the real realization, the real development will be there when we include the raw data coming from the 6.25 lakhs villages of the country. If village 4.0 have to take place, that the data platform of the government should have the village level data of 6.25 lakhs and block level aggregation and so on and so forth. In this connection, I would like to remind to the audience that way back in 1980s, National Informatics Center has launched a very big national program called the DISTINCT, that is District Information System of National Informatics Center. And fortunately, and I was the project head of the DISTINCT program of Government of India, and which has envisioned 28 sectoral database development programs way back in 87. And also a village level data set, a block level data set, and a district level data set, that is called DISTINCT Dash Plan data set development programs. And we have operationalized all these 28 database development programs and the DISTINCT Plan database program, using the open source technology available at that time, that is Unix platform. And that was the beginning of e-government era, and that has become a big stepping stone for the e-governance program way back in 2003. And if blockchain technology has to be made successful, it has to bring in traceability. Data sets are more important. Today, technologies are being developed, but the data set has to be important for is the foundation for the development. So India consciously has been adopted data for development, informatics for development programs for the last 40 years through its institution called the National Informatics Center. And as a technocrat, worked in National Informatics Center for my entire career, and now also working in the same, energy, with the same energy that bring in informatics-led development. I salute all the scientists of National Informatics Center from previous, worked previously and working now, and the young scientists who will be joining National Informatics Center, that it is an institution for development of India through informatics for development and data for development. Thank you very much, Madam Alka Mishra. And in order to summarize to the participants of the, on the open data platform, Madam Alka Mishra is very rightly said it, that the data is oil, and data and oil will get intrinsic value through refinement process. And it has created a repository of government open data, and also has built a complete ecosystem to facilitate sharing and utilization of government data by public, for research, for analysis, and for innovation in the country. we are very happy to note that there are about 4.2 lakhs data sets has been published by 173 central and state government. There are about 355 chief data officers to facilitate. About 8.31 million times the data sets have been downloaded, and more than 28.74 million times people have viewed it. And it is a very important thing that there are many, hackathons have been organized at the state level, regional level, and national level to promote consumption of these data sets for public good. So, Open Government Data Platform is which is built on state-of-the-art open source tools and stacks. It provides online visualization capabilities, including provision of multi-dimensional and subject-oriented views of the dataset, giving better graphical representation of tabular data. This will be a real revolution. And once our former President of India, Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that India needs raw data for visualization, not statistics. Statistics is an monitored data, and raw data is needed. This is where the village level data, now with the telecom revolution which is taking place, and with the more than 800 million people are having smartphones and so on and so forth, and the data from village source, from farmer level, health data, it is very much possible to have this data, getting into the data sets for realization. And we are also very happy that you have built a very, innovative analytical stacks over it, including visualization stack. And the policies like adoption of open source software policy 2015 and open application programming interface policy 2015 of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and the national data sharing data policy of 2012, and also the government open data license of India, which was notified on 10th February 2017, will make the data liberated from the government department and will be made available to all young, skilled, and entrepreneurs, for establishing, large number of startups for, realization of various goals of India. So thank you very much, Madam Alka Mishra, for your focused talk on open data platform for building smart digital government through various national and international case studies to facilitate self-reliant India movement. So on behalf of the Honorable Chancellor of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, it's deemed to be university, and also Soviet University, Saharanpur district, we thank you for your wonderful and insightful address today through our international open technology webinar series, towards self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I am very confident under your leadership, we will be able to do a lot of hackathons in Shobit University. And with your broad vision, maybe one day we will have data-led informatics data also on data.gov.in. That would be the final goal, and it would really, really help one and all to discover more possibilities together. Thank you so much. It was wonderful joining. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was wonderful.
Thank you.